This is Geek News Central. My name is Todd Cochran, coming to you from the new media production studio. The lead stories today: cryptocurrency adds nothing useful to society, says chip maker NVIDIA. Publishers beat Internet Archive as judge rules ebook lending violates copyright. Uber Eats is shutting down thousands of virtual restaurants to make the app less spammy. Twitter says the source code was leaked. Yes, again, Twitter says source code was leaked on GitHub. Now it's trying to hunt down the culprit. I want to welcome you to episode 1659 of the Geek News Central podcast for Monday, March 27th. This show is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com and listeners just like you. Great deals from GoDaddy can be found at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. You can support this show today by becoming an insider at geeknewscentral.com/insider, or you can participate in the new podcast era by going over to podcastapps.com and picking up either Podverse or Fountain. Those are two great apps to participate in Podcasting 2.0. Meanwhile, we want to welcome brand new listeners to the show. Make sure you get over to geeknewscentral.com. Follow or subscribe to the show via the right-hand column. The links are there. All your favorite podcasting apps. Of course, get signed up for our newsletter. The newsletter contains everything I'm going to talk about in today's show, delivered directly to your inbox immediately following the podcast. Of course, you can join our chat room, our Mastodon chat server at geeknews.chat. Just apply for an account. Say, Todd, I'm a listener of the podcast, and I'll get you added over there. Or you can participate in our Discord channel. For those of you super adventurous, you can participate on our Slack channel by sending me an email to geeknews@gmail.com. Of course, geeknews@gmail.com is a place for all commentary for everything that's going on with the show. Of course, you can reach out to me on good old Twitter as well, at Geek News. You can reach out to me on Facebook just by searching for my name, Todd Cochran, friending me. I'll friend you back. Don't worry about that. And of course, don't forget, all of our partner shows are linked at geeknewscentral.com across the top of the website, whether it be the new media show hosted by myself, Mr. Rob Greenlee, the Gadget Professor with Mr. Don Bain, or the GNC Week in Review with our own executive producer, Kirk, and his co-host, Scott. Definitely get subscribed to all three of those shows to never miss a great episode. I tell you what, got a great lineup of podcasts here we don't want you to miss, of course, including this one. Of course, this show is sponsored by the longest running continuous sponsor of a podcast. That's our good friends at GoDaddy. Make sure you get over to geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy to pick up a deal. March is winding down. It is the 27th of March. You have a few days to help me make my end of the month quotas. My GoDaddy promo codes for March are all there, whether it be 30% off on new product purchases, a $4.99.com for brand new customers if you buy a new one or transfer one in, or a free trial of GoDaddy website builder, your choice of personal, business, or business plus plans. That's a 1-month free trial. And of course, the best deal on the absolute planet Earth for a hosting account is the two deals as follows. $1.99 a month economy hosting for the first year with a free domain. Again, $1.99 a month economy hosting for the first year with a free domain. $24 get you up and running. Get an e-commerce site, get things moving, get a website set up for just the low cost of $24 for a year. $2.99 a month, a managed WordPress hosting for the first year of the free domain. Don't worry about security updates. Don't worry about backups. Get that managed WordPress hosting. It's a great deal. $2.99 a month, managed WordPress hosting for the first year with a free domain name. And you, yes, you can start something new. I'm going to announce some more layoffs today. Another company is letting people go. The economy is yet to be seen what is going to happen. You need to economy-proof your life. Get something going. Get something started today. geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. Share this link with your friends, family members, people that you know, because you may be secure, but you know someone that might be on shaky territory, and you can save a lot of money here. Your support keeps this podcast online and the independent writing team employed, keeps the lights on, keeps my insurance paid. Matter of fact, I got an $800 insurance payment to make this month. That sucks, coming right down here to the end. So definitely get on board here and definitely support the show. We appreciate it when you do. And again, thank you, GoDaddy, for being a longtime sponsor here of the Geek News Central podcast. Hey, first things up. Man, fully disengaged this weekend. It was a YouTube, Netflix. I was watching the Mindhunter series on Netflix. Good one. Really good one. Really am enjoying. I'm in season 2, episode 3 already, so did a little bit of binge watching. So totally veg this weekend. Actually should have been doing a few things, but didn't. So it was, not super productive. But sometimes you just gotta do that. But today, a carpal tunnel, it is kicking like it has not kicked in many, many years. And I'm going to go home. I actually ordered a new carpal tunnel gloves. I think I know where my old ones are. I got to go home and search for them. I've got great carpal tunnel gloves, but what has finally caught up to me, and I've switched off. I've got a few regular mice, is the trackball. The trackball is what's doing it to me. I've used trackballs for years and never had any carpal tunnel problems. I think what's happening is, instead of having the trackball straight, parallel with my arm, I've had it twist kind of in front of me, in the middle of me as I've been working. I think that's what's kicked it off. So I got to get a new position, stretch my arm. I've got a device at home that I stick my hand into, and it massages my hand. So that's going to be something I'm going into immediately when I get done with the show tonight, get in the studio. Get back to the loft. But it's bad. Really, really bad. And it kicked in about 4:30 this afternoon. I've been doing an incredible amount of typing lately, more than normal. So I really think that's part of it as well. So I'm going to make sure tomorrow that I'm using the stand-up portion of my desk, change positions, just to just pushing myself up a little bit. Ow. Just to get a change in positioning. I'm sure I've just fell out of that and stretch. It's been, when you get it, you get it. And I know how painful this can be long term. So yeah, I'm going to get after it right away. And I kind of noticed it a couple of weeks ago, flaring up, and it's been a while. But putting your hand palm straight against the wall and then stretching, bring a tear to your ear. What other carpal tunnel exercise, and I know the major ones, have you used to kind of help you out? Love to hear your comments on that. So here we are, back in the studio. Everything's still go. We're not going anywhere. I don't have. Matter of fact, here's the schedule. The next trip that I go on is I go to Las Vegas. I believe I fly April 14th. And I'll be out there to the 20th for the NAB show. So all shows this week, all shows next week. And then the week of April 10th, I will probably not have a show on the 13th. So no interruptions until the 13th. And then I'll probably be back with you. Well, again, depends. I may be out 1, 2, 3 episodes in April. But after that, not a lot of travel. I was planning on potentially going to the UK. That's still kind of up in the air, to an event there. But still haven't pulled the trigger on that, just because airline costs are still, to be honest with you, a little bit ridiculous. So just got to say budget where we can, and want to, but do I need to, and does it make sense from a business value ROI for the company. So that's what's kind of happening there. All right, so let's talk about this article over on The Guardian from NVIDIA. Cryptocurrency add nothing useful to society, says chipmaker NVIDIA. Well, they've sure made a heck of a lot of money in people buying GPUs to do cryptocurrency farming. Tech chief says the development of chatbots is more worthwhile use of processing power than crypto mining. Michael Kagan said other uses, such as AI, were more worthwhile than mining crypto. NVIDIA has never embraced the crypto community with open arms. In 2021, the company even released software that artificially constrained the ability to use its graphic cards from being used to mine the popular Ethereum cryptocurrency. Kagan said the decision was justified because of the limited value of using processing power to mine crypto. The first version of ChatGPT, though, was trained on a supercomputer made up of about 10,000 NVIDIA graphics cards. He says all this crypto stuff, it needed parallel processing, and NVIDIA is the best, so people just programmed it to use for this purpose. They bought a lot of stuff, and then eventually it collapsed because it doesn't bring anything useful for society. AI does, and I would disagree. I think what you're going to find is that governments around the world are going to try to go to crypto and going to try to control crypto. And the only difference between crypto that's going to be released by potentially the U.S. government and Bitcoin is that 21 million Bitcoin will be mined, and that's it. There'll never be another Bitcoin mined after 21 million. You can't just keep adding Bitcoin after 21 million. It doesn't happen. So it's just like used to be a limited amount of gold was dug out of the ground. Now there's more because of the way technology is advanced. But governments can just print more money, and they do all the time. The U.S. is very, very, very good at that. And at the same time, what do? They make the value of the dollar go down every time they just punch the printing press. And if they have the ability to do digital crypto, then guess what? Poof! All of a sudden money is made, and at some point will be like Vietnam was many, many years ago, where it would take $1 million to buy a soda. I'm not saying it's going to get to that point, but that's what happened in Vietnam is their currency that they had was become worthless. It was actually cheaper than toilet paper at one point. So that's why today in many countries, Costa Rica, Venezuela, Vietnam, this is why the dollar oftentimes is the primary currency you get out of an ATM machine instead of the local country's currency. So we'll see what happens over time, but this thing about cryptocurrency add nothing useful to society, I don't agree with that. I like NVIDIA products. I like their GPUs. They've made a lot of things possible. Yes, AI is going to change the world, but they know long term there's probably going to be a lot more NVIDIA cards being sold for AI than they will be for crypto. And we know today the way things are moving is at some point you'll be able to have a heavily modified machine that's running a high-end GPU, which basically you can train to have your own mini AI on your own desktop. So we'll see where this goes. And time will tell. Now, 2 weeks ago, Microsoft said it bought tens of thousands of NVIDIA AI-focused processors, the A100 GPU, in order to power the workload of OpenAI. NVIDIA sold 20,000 H100s, a successor to that chip to Amazon for its cloud computing AWS service, and another 16,000 have been sold to Oracle. NVIDIA also rents access to the chips directly with its DGX cloud service, starting just under $37,000 a month for 8 H100s wired together in a cluster. So here's what's going to happen. NVIDIA is probably a pretty good stock to buy right now, long term, just based upon where we're going here, because the computational power is going to continue to grow. It has to get bigger before it can get smaller. Publishers beat Internet Archive as judge rules e-book lending violates copyright. The IA Open Library Project, which partners with libraries to scan print books in their collections and offer them as lendable ebooks, had no right to produce 127 of the publisher's books named in the suit, Judge John Cotelli decided. IA's so-called controlled digital lending practice merely creates derivative ebooks that, when lent to the public, compete with those ebooks authorized by the publisher. And basically, the argument was, hey, they bought the print book. Shouldn't the library be allowed to give out a ebook? And the answer is no. The judge held that book publishers obtain exclusive rights to publish books in print and digital formats. He argued because libraries had already paid licensing fees for print copies, scanning those print copies, and then limited lending on print copies in a one-on-one ratio constituted a transformative fair use. The copying books was incidental. Well, they lost that argument. He said there was nothing transformative about IA's digital lending practice, which he decided violated the publisher's reproduction and display rights. And they're looking for a big pile of money. $64 million, I think, is what they're looking for. So, will your local library be on the hook to pay part of this settlement? Time will tell. And a very good move, Uber Eats is shutting down thousands of virtual restaurants to make the app less spammy. And I know, I don't use Uber Eats a lot, but once in a while I do. And here in my town, I decided one day, I said, oh, there's a new burger place. I was trying to look up the address, because they listed this place being close to me, and I had never seen it before. And it turned out it was a virtual restaurant that was part of B-Dubs. And I'm like, wow, what is this little scam that's going on? And I've looked for this quite a bit, especially in my local town where I've looked at restaurants. Does this look familiar? And oftentimes it hasn't, but it's been a duplicate of another company. So I'm sure you've seen this as well, but Uber Eats is delisting some of the delivery-only restaurants on its app to help weed out low-quality listings. The company has confirmed that it's introducing a new set of standards for virtual restaurants that should help cut down on listings that sometimes contain the same menu. One restaurant in New York City was listed under 16 different companies out of the same address. The virtual locations now will have to have menu items that are at least 60% different from any other virtual restaurant operating from that same physical location. The same goes for the brand's parent restaurant or the kitchen that houses the virtual brands. Additionally, Uber will now require the ghost kitchen and its parent restaurant to maintain a 4.3 star rating or higher on the app, have 5% or fewer orders that have been canceled, and have a 5% or lower inaccurate order rate. Uber notes that it reserves the right to remove VRs from the Uber platform that are not in compliance. Now, sadly, they're only removing around 5,000 virtual kitchens, and there are currently a total of around 40,000 virtual listings. This is a steep increase from 10,000 on the app in 2021, and they make up about 8% of all the restaurants listed there in the United States. So I'm glad to see them do this move, to be frank. I really, really am. Have you been confused before? Have you ordered something that you thought was from a new company and it turned out it was just from, some brand you already were familiar with or didn't want to be associated with? If you have, geeknews@gmail.com is the place to send your commentary on those thoughts. Twitter, they're on a manhunt. They have a big, big manhunt. Twitter says source code was leaked on GitHub. Now it's trying to find the individual. They filed a DMCA request to get the code taken down and asked a court to order GitHub to identify the person responsible. The New York Times notes that the source code may have been public for several months. The GitHub profile associated with the takedown lists a single non-public code contribution from early January. The name of the account is listed as Free Speech Enthusiast, in apparent reference to Twitter's CEO Elon Musk calling himself a free speech absolutist. Proprietary soft code is, man, that is the lifeblood of a company. Of a digital company, it is the lifeblood. Imagine what the value would be if someone leaked TikTok source code on the internet. You would all of a sudden find 100 TikToks out there that had different labels on them. But this is a big deal. And if they find whoever did this, obviously very highly likely that it was a former employee, I would not want to be in that individual's shoes in any way, shape, or form. Now, Apple has got a movie coming out from Martin Scorsese. It's going to hit theaters in October before it hits TV Plus. Killers of the Flower Moon is the first Apple TV Plus movie to get a wide theatrical release before it streams. This is interesting. The company has revealed again that they'll release this to the theaters on October 20th, following a limited run starting. They will release it digitally following a limited run starting on October 6th, so 14 days. Oh, no. The company hasn't said when the film will be available to Apple TV Plus users. Okay, they will get a wide theatrical release on October 20th. Following a limited run starting October 6th. So this is interesting. Now, Scorsese struck a multi-year deal with Apple in 2020 that covered both movies and television projects. While terms aren't clear, Killers reported it has a budget topping $180 million. The pact came just months after Netflix Scorsese's film The Irishman received a massive audience but failed to win any Oscars. Netflix didn't pay the required entry fee of several $100,000, I'm sure. But anyway, so this is going to go. Apple is getting into the movie business, and it'll be in theaters first. When was the last time you went to a movie theater? I'm going to say my last time in a movie theater was at least 6 months ago. At least 6 months, maybe more. I enjoy going to the movie theater, but it's just easier to watch them on the big screen at home. Apple's quietly acquired Mountain View-based startup Wave One that was developing AI algorithms for compressing video. Apple wouldn't confirm the sale, but Wave One's website was shut down around January, and several former employees, including one of Wave One's co-founders, now work within Apple's various machine learning groups. No announcement of the deal, but basically they try to smash the video. What they try to do is focus on face and text and then de-emphasize everything else like leaves or background so that you can get more smaller videos and because you're able to compress it more. So interesting move there. Now, I eat at KFC once in a while. I like original, crispy. I like the coleslaw. Some of you don't like the coleslaw. Some of you may like the mashed potatoes from KFC. But have you ever thought about buying a KFC franchise? I really wouldn't want to own one personally. But an India-based cyber gang has been busted for selling fake KFC franchises. One businessman was scammed out of $115,000 exchanged for the fake finger-licking good agreement. KFC was one of 28 companies the gang posed as. Several individuals alleged to be the perps were arrested by Cyberod police, and cops said after being tracked via their IP address. Now, I wish in India they would go after these scam baiters. That's who the Indian police need to be arresting. They're stealing millions and millions of dollars from people all over the world, mostly English-speaking countries, by scamming old people into giving up their money or going buying gift cards. So I know this audience is quite akamai, and I hope that you have taken the time to speak to older adults in your home to make sure they understand that Microsoft customer support doesn't call them. The IRS will not call them. The IRS does not issue warrants via email. You have not bought an iPhone on Amazon. Make sure you go to your Amazon account and look at your recent purchases. There's all kinds of scams that are going on. And lots of AI scams are starting now. So please, please, please ask your elderly parents to make sure that if they think something isn't right, to say, is this a scam or not? Further news, Lyft's CEO and president to step down. Former Amazon executive Dave Risher has been named as a replacement. So he's the former retail executive, will be CEO of the ride-sharing company beginning April 17th. When Green will step down to serve as chair of the board, Zimmer will transition out of his role on June 30th to serve as vice chair of the Lyft board. Lyft's current chair, Sean Agarwal, will step down from his post, but remain on the board and collecting his monthly board stipend. Lyft shares rose around 5% after hours on the news. So these original founders are stepping back. Oh, right there we go. That email is not the IRS. The IRS does not email you. You do have to be concerned if you get a letter in the mail, and you do have to be concerned if they call you in certain rare circumstances. But, I have gotten the letter in like June or July from the IRS. You pull that envelope out, and you go, oh my God, what is this, right? You open it up, and sometimes it's good news, sometimes it's bad news. The last time was bad news, and I owed them $700. So, you never know what you're going to get from the IRS. They will send you mail. They will not email you. And you hope to only deal with them once a year as you send your tax return in with or without a check. You always, that's the key here, right? So, again, totally ignore any communications from the IRS that comes in via email. They do have a portal that they will interact with you on the IRS website, but that's a whole different thing. Water trapped in tiny glass beads on the moon. Yes, on the moon could hydrate future settlements. Now they just need to figure out how to extract it. China's Chang'e 5 rovers found tiny glass beads containing water in an impact crater on the moon. Samples collected from a 2020 mission found beads with a water content as high as 2,000 parts per million. Given the prevalence of these glass spheres on the lunar surface, there may be enough to provide 71 trillion gallons of water. So, what is 71 trillion gallons of water? Well, that's enough to fill 100, listen to this, 100 million Olympic-sized swimming pools. Now, that sounds like a heck of a lot of water on the moon, right? Scientists have yet to figure out how to collect them, and they would need to heat them to around 212 degrees Fahrenheit to extract the water. Still, they could be a resource for future lunar settlements where astronauts could use water for drinking, bathing, cooking, cleaning, and even producing rocket fuel. So, scientists believe other moons in our solar system may have similar beads. So, this is an interesting development. But to create heat causes energy. So, what you're going to use? A nuclear-powered energy to melt beads to make water? I don't know. Hey, if you're watching tonight on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you may be, please check in and say hello. Don't be shy. We see you watching there between the two platforms, so make sure you say hello. Elliot, Ilato, thanks so much for checking in on YouTube. We definitely appreciate it. If I pronounced your name, it's Eloto1. Yep, thanks for checking in. Thanks for saying hi. And if you're on Facebook, make sure you do the same. So, water beads on the moon. Okay, interesting. Now, this one is a little bit of a crazy one. Android app from China executed zero-day exploit on millions of devices. Well, you say, am I affected? Well, it was a malicious version of an app called, and I can't even pronounce it, Pinduoduo app, but it was only available in third-party markets, which users in China and elsewhere rely on because of the official Google Play market is off limits or not easy to access. So no malicious versions of this app called Pinduoduo was found in the Play or Apple App Store. Pinduoduo was pulled from Play after Google discovered a malicious version of the app available elsewhere, not on their app. So this has apparently been on about 1 million devices. So it represents a very sophisticated. So if you're using a store other than the Play Store for your apps, go look for this. Blue Origin has basically provided a detail of its launch failure. A little more than 6 months after the failure of its New Shepard rocket, Blue Origin has had this to say in their summary. Essentially, the rocket's main engine nozzle sustained temperatures that were higher than anticipated, leading to an explosion of the rocket. So melted down the nozzle, I guess. But they had assistance from the FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board. The mishap team noted hot streaks on the nozzle and determined it was operating at a higher temperature than it was designed for. Although the summary does not explicitly say so, it appears that at some point in the flight, this booster designer changes were made that allowed for these hotter temperatures. They've implemented corrective actions, and they hope to be back in the game very, very shortly. So have you received a call about your car's extended warranty? You know, that's the joke, right? Big joke. FTC has banned scamming companies from calling you about your car's extended warranty. The proposed court order would permanently ban operators at known scams from outbound telemarketing offering extended warranty sales. 3 companies, American Vehicle Protection Corp, GC3 Solutions, and Tony Gonzalez Consulting Group and their owners would be permanently banned from both the extended automobile warranty industry and all outbound telemarketing. So these folks are falsely claiming they represent dealers and manufacturers offering fraudulent bumper-to-bumper and full vehicle coverage between $2,800 and $3,400. They enlisted customers about who they were and what they were selling and called a large number of consumers who were on a FTC's Do Not Call list. Today, the order banning 5 defendants from the industry, imposing a monetary judgment of $6.6 million, continues the commission's agency's aggressive crackdown. All 3 companies, along with the individual defendants, have agreed to the terms of the proposed court order. The monetary judgment of $6.6 million is largely suspended based on the defendant's ability to pay. Of course, they already spent their cash they stole from all of you. The FTC still has an ongoing case with another company in the lawsuit called Cole Consulting Group and its owner, Daniel Cole, Kole. So be careful who you talk to. The Verge has come out swinging. The Verge says the TikTok ban is a betrayal of the open internet. They say there's cause for alarm with TikTok, but is it enough to justify building America's own great firewall? We know that last Thursday, House Energy and Consumer Commerce grilled TikTok CEO Shou Zi in a pretty abrasive hearing that mainly revealed that Congress wants to ban TikTok. I again go back to the discussion that a lot of this has something to do with money. Until someone tells us what the exact national security concerns are about TikTok and solid evidence, I think the general public deserves this. Otherwise, if they become banned, I will judge it then. He says it's much easier to conclude that the concrete benefits of America banning TikTok for all citizens is dubious. From a privacy perspective, much of what Chinese authorities would likely want from TikTok, including very detailed geolocation data, is readily available from America data brokers. Phones are already little surveillance machines with or without TikTok, and there are countless other ways to get information off of them. So far, there's more concrete evidence of basically, he goes talking about Tim Horton's app secretly tracking users. But, I think here, this article, and again, I'm becoming less and less inclined to talk about The Verge and other sites like this because they have a bias. Hi, Richard. Hi, Mom. Thanks for checking in. Hey, Kirk. Thanks for checking in. Appreciate you checking in with us. So, you all that listen to this show have not weighed in. What is your opinion of this potential TikTok ban? I think TikTok is great to find news and information really about what's going on. I do. Now, I know that we had a very sad incident that happened today in Nashville. It's all over everything. It came in as a news alert on my cell phone. Very tragic. But I would almost bet that there's more data on TikTok than what is available in the news cycle right now. And maybe some of it we don't want to see, but it'll be there. So again, I think that I remain dubious as well, but I'm not going to say it's a betrayal of the open internet. I think the American public does deserve a national security briefing. Lay the cards out there. You're going to ban this app that so many people love. Then tell us exactly, EXACTLY, exactly what this app is doing, so that we have some understanding of what it is. Moving on here, Disney's first of 3 rounds of layoffs will start this week. The company has planned to cut 7,000 workers. And so step by effect of this first round, we hear from leaders over the next 4 days. The second round of cuts, which is set to encompass several thousand people, happens sometime in April. The third round will happen before the beginning of the summer. So 7,000 jobs. He's targeting $5.5 billion in cost savings at the company. And guess what? Employee salaries will make up the vast majority of this. I use Zoom on a daily basis, and Zoom has made life really different for me and my team. We use the Zoom phone app. We have a commercial account with Zoom. But Zoom has just added a new AI feature to help you catch up on meetings you were late to. Adding several new AI-powered features along with new mail and calendar integrations to compete with Microsoft Teams, Google Workspace, and Salesforce. So while Zoom IQ can already do things like create chapters and highlights for recorded meetings, Zoom's giving the assistant even more features, including a way to catch up on meetings that you may have been late to. That means you'll be able to ask the tool to summarize what you missed as well as ask further questions. You have to add this add-on. This is something that's just not automatically. Additionally, Zoom IQ can do several other things like generate whiteboards based on text prompts and provide recaps of meetings as well as summarize threads in Zoom team chat, similar to the ChatGPT bot coming to Slack. Zoom IQ also allows you to generate responses to your colleagues using AI. The company says it's planning to roll out AI-powered messages and email address on an invitation-only basis in April, but will introduce select Zoom IQ meeting summary features more broadly. So we will see where this goes. Being very careful in how I'm using these AI tools at this point. If you are a fan of Beyonce, crypto giant Beyonce charged with violating U.S. trading and derivatives law. So again, here we go. Add Beyonce to the list of crypto heavyweights facing serious legal trouble. The Commodity Futures and Trading Commission, CFTC, has charged Beyonce founder Changpeng Zhao and former compliance chief Samuel Lim with alleged violating both the agency's Regulation and Commodity Exchange Act. The company supposedly offered unregistered crypto derivatives, didn't ask for users for mandatory identity verification, structured itself to avoid U.S. regulation, and even told customers how to dodge its own compliance system for U.S.-based customers. In other words, they wanted to allow people without identifying themselves to use the crypto to move it around, which is a big, big, big no-no. What is that being used for? Well, could be drug transactions and all kinds of things. The commission hopes to permanently ban Beyonce's registration and trading, also hopes to levy fines and make the firm disgorge its gains. There's no estimated financial penalty. So the charges come in the wake of multiple scandals rocking the crypto industry. My point is, stay on Bitcoin. Apple has released iOS 16.4 with new emojis, Safari web push notifications, beta change, voice isolation for calls, and more. And one thing it's being added, it's made a change to the podcast app. And it's going to allow us to do more isolated tracking of who's listening to a podcast on the Apple Podcast app. Of course, we want you to go over to podcastapps.com and pick up a brand new podcast app like Fountain, or pick up one that supports value for value. We definitely want you to do that to participate in the Value for Value program. All you got to do is use Fountain, use Podverse, and when you do that, when you set those up and add $20 worth of Satoshis to your account, you'll be able to boost this show and send comments in via a small donation. You can send 1,000 sats for 25 cents and send a comment along that I can read actively here on the show over at podcastapps.com. And again, I'm recommending Podverse or Fountain at this time. Those are the two that I'm particularly like a lot. And let me see if anyone has sent anything in today live. Let's see if we can look at that. We're not done with the show. We got more content tonight, so don't go anywhere. We're still moving along. I hadn't refreshed the screen. So yeah, kind of quiet tonight. We've gotten some live streaming sats today. Someone's listening live. And our number of folks contributing to the show has grown. We have a whopping 47 of you that are sending in streaming sats. Podverse, Fountain, Cast-O-Matic, CurioCaster, those are all great apps to use at podcastapps.com. And you'll buy basically Satoshis, which is 100 millionth of a Bitcoin. So it gives you a little bit of some info there. But anyway, the new Apple Podcast app update does not support any of this. And if you're using that, you need to move. All right, Biden administration has banned federal agencies from using commercial spyware. The order is likely to affect known government spyware makers like the NSO Group. In an executive order, the president's barred federal agency from using commercial spyware that threatens U.S. national security or carries a risk of improper use by foreign governments and individuals. The order applies to all departments, including those involved in law enforcement, defense, and intelligence. It also prohibits the use of spyware that in the past was used to disclose non-public information about the U.S. government. The executive order doesn't include a list of affected spyware vendors. Government officials declined to name specific firms when asked by reporters. However, the administration said the order includes U.S. and foreign-made spyware. Judging from the criteria laid out in the order, known government spyware makers like Israel's NSO Group and Macedonia's Cytrox are likely affected. So you're going to... Okay. When it comes to intelligence, my good friends, all's fair in love and war. So this is an interesting move here. Banning federal agencies from using commercial spyware. Okay. So do they have spyware that is non-commercial now that they've bought? White labeled? Is that why they've made the change? That is the question I would ask. Amtrak is back on track after server breakdown forces dozens of cancellations. I actually watched a YouTube video over the weekend, talked about a guy that took an Amtrak, basically at a sleeper. And it was pretty expensive. He went coast to coast, $1,500 for a sleeper, and like 52 hours to get from New York to L.A. How many of you have taken Amtrak across the country, and how is it in a non-sleeper? I would imagine kind of painful, but I might want to do that sometime just to see the countryside. But boy, oh boy, I don't know. A little expensive. You can still get a round trip to the West Coast today for $600 or $700, depending on what airline you fly. So 1,552 hours is, some people don't like to fly, so maybe that's the case. Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, U.S. lender brought by a rival. Well, First Citizen Bank shares bought the failed bank. How much did they buy it for? $16.5 billion. They bought around $72 billion of SVB's assets at a discount of $16.5 billion. This is a deal that will make the bank one of the 25 biggest in the United States. The FDIC said it would retain control of $90 billion of SVB assets, and estimated the cost of the SVB failure to its deposit insurance fund would be around $20 billion. It also received an equity stake in First Citizens worth up to $500 million. The FTC said it received 27 bids from 18 bidders before settling on First Citizen. The UK arm of SVB was bought by HSBC earlier this month for £1. So anyway, Silicon Valley Bank, you will now be part of First Citizens Bank shares. Apple's Tim Cook met China Commerce Chief to talk supply chain. So China's Minister of Commerce, Wang Wentao, on Monday, underscoring the importance of the relations between the leading U.S. consumer tech company and its key partner, despite heightened tensions between Washington and Beijing. Both sides exchanged views about Apple's development in China and stabilizing the industry supply chain. Wang also told the Apple CEO that China will continue to open up and provide good services to foreign firms, including Apple. Cook joins a number of U.S. and European leaders who've met with Wang in recent days around China's development forum in Beijing. The government showcases for signaling reopening following years of COVID-0 restrictions. Together, they represent the most significant official powwows with foreign executives since China dropped those curbs in December. Wang, who also was appointed to his role this year, has so far met with leaders of Nestle, BMW, Mercedes, Pfizer, and Qualcomm. On Saturday, Cook told an audience at the CDF that Apple and China have grown together and the relationship between the two is symbiotic. His China trip also includes a stop at an Apple retail store in the Chinese capital with Deirdre O'Brien, the company's retail chef, and other executives. So there you go. Apple hobnobbing with the Chinese communist. France bans all recreational apps, including TikTok, from government devices. The National's Ministry de la Transformation de la Fonction, issued a statement announcing the policy, which ministers of transformation in public services justify the grounds that no recreational apps have sufficiently robust security for them to be deployed on government-owned phones. Several nations already banned TikTok, of course. So what else? So recreational apps. What else does that mean? What is a recreational app? So they don't have a full list as one would expect in the article, but it's a very interesting development as TikTok continues to be under fire. Now, I had some interesting responses to the show. And I got a couple emails in that I think you guys will find interesting. I got 2 from Bob. He says, "Hey, Todd, in one of your episodes, you wanted to know why someone would want an Oni, OONI, pizza oven from a frozen pizza cooked in your oven. I sent a response on this, but when you were talking about ChatGPT in your latest episode, I decided to have the AI convince you as well. So this is what I typed in, and here was the AI's response. Convince Todd that the Uni pizza oven is better than a frozen pizza cooked in the oven. Hi, Todd. As an AI language model, I can provide you with several reasons why the Uni pizza oven is a better option for frozen pizza. Quality pizza. The Uni pizza oven can cook your pizza to perfection with a crispy crust and evenly melted cheese. Frozen pizzas can be inconsistent quality and may have soggy crust or unevenly melted cheese. The Uni oven pizza can cook a pizza in a few minutes, while frozen pizzas can take up to 20-30 minutes to cook in a regular oven. The Uni pizza oven can also be used to cook other types of food such as meats, vegetables, and fish. On the other hand, a regular oven is limited to baking, broiling, and roasting. I disagree. Cost effective. While an Uni pizza oven may be a significant investment up front, it can save you money in the long run. You can make homemade pizzas with fresh ingredients instead of buying expensive frozen pizzas. I'm just going to cook frozen pizzas in the Uni if I get it. Cooking with an Uni pizza oven is a fun and social experience, perfect for parties, family gatherings. You can customize your pizza and experience with different toppings to make the perfect pizza for everyone's taste. In summary, the Uni pizza oven is a better option than a frozen pizza cooked in the oven because of its superior quality, speed, versatility, cost effectiveness, and fun social experience. So why not give it a try and enjoy a delicious homemade pizza that everyone will love? Well, I thanks Bob for that. But Bob went one step further. He sent me another response. He said, I ran it again. He said this was a second attempt. Hey, Todd, have you ever tried using an Uni pizza oven to make your pizza? It's a game changer. Here are some reasons why I believe the Uni pizza oven is a better option than frozen pizza cooked in a regular oven. When you have your own pizza in an Uni oven, you have control over the ingredients and can use fresh, high-quality ingredients to make delicious, flavorful pizzas that you can't get from a frozen pizza. Uni pizza oven heats up to 930 degrees Fahrenheit, cooks the pizza in just 60 seconds, giving you crispy crust and perfectly melted cheese. The Uni pizza oven is easy to use and can set up in just minutes. It's portable, can be used in your backyard or in a park, making the great option for outdoor gatherings or parties. Plus, you don't have to wait for the oven to preheat 20 or 30 minutes like you would with a traditional oven. Frozen pizza are often high in sodium preservatives, while making your own pizza with fresh ingredients allow you to control the amount of salt and herbs that goes into your pizza. Plus, you can customize your pizza to fit your dietary needs or preferences like using gluten-free or plant-based toppings. While the upfront cost of a Uni pizza may seem high, it can actually save you money in the long run, making your own pizza even more affordable than ordering takeout or buying frozen pizzas. And you can make multiple pizzas at once, making it a great option for feeding a crowd. Overall, the Uni pizza oven is a great investment. It can elevate your pizza making and provide a fun, delicious, convenient way to make homemade pizza. Why not give it a try and taste the difference? Well, I don't make homemade pizzas. I don't. I either buy and pick one up, or I put a frozen one in the oven. So would it make my frozen ones in the Uni taste better? That's the next challenge, Bob. I don't know. But it's fun to see what the AI, how they pitch the Uni. It sounds to me like this is a great tool for marketing messages, emotion and everything. How it justifies its higher costs at the beginning. Bob, thanks for running that. I appreciate it. It was good. So ChatGPT and the Uni. What else are you doing with ChatGPT? What are you all doing with ChatGPT? Tell me what you're doing. How is it changing your life? How are you using it? That's what I want to hear. I want to start collecting how you're using ChatGPT in business and personal life and all this other stuff. I didn't use it at all today because I was head down doing other stuff. But I'm just wondering, how are you using it personally? We need to start getting the use cases from those of you that are using this. So, Bob, you're using it. Give me the 2, 3, 4 things that you're using ChatGPT for to make life better for you. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, we're getting out of here in a few minutes. Geek News at gmail.com is the place to email. @Geek News on Twitter. We've been live and lit this whole show. Live and lit. I've been going live about 6:20 p.m. Eastern. Kirk gets me the show prep about 5:30. I'm able to get the show prep done in about 50 minutes. I've been going live about 6:20 every Monday and Thursday. I hope you join us live on a new podcast app that you find at podcastapps.com. Now, Pocket Cast has some of these new cool features too. So if you're a Pocket Cast user and you're subscribed to Geek News Central, you should start getting some live and lit notifications on Pocket Cast. Let us know if you don't. Definitely want to hear from you. And we've had a great live crowd today. If you haven't checked in already before we punch out on Facebook, make sure you check in and say hello. Say hi that you were here. I appreciate it when you do that. And this is going to get me to the end. GoDaddy. We're near the end of the month. If you have never, ever, ever picked up a GoDaddy product or service, now is the time to do that. Now is the time to go to geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. If you've never become an insider, if you've never done an online contribution, geeknewscentral.com/insider. There's a way to send a PayPal one-time donation, or there's a way right in there to send sats as well. You can send sats just through the web interface, or get a new podcast app at podcastapps.com and participate in this value for value plan. Lots of ways to support the show at a micro level, at a macro level. We love when you come in with the macro level, like the big donations. We love that. Helps the show tremendously. We need your support now. It's definitely appreciated when you do support the podcast. It's been my pleasure to bring you the show. Definitely drop me a line, geeknews@gmail.com. We'll see you this coming Thursday for another show. Well, again, we'll be live at 6:20 p.m. Eastern. If you want to watch, you can do it on the website, in the app. We want you to experience in the app. That's what I'm telling you. I'm driving you guys crazy. Podcastapps.com. Grab one. Join us. Try Podverse. All right. Thank you so much for everyone being here. We'll see you next time on the Geek News Central podcast. Take care. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.